Okay, let's balance this equation, which is slightly more complicated. Let's draw a table using a table method. You write down the elements from left to right. First you see iron, so put Fe, followed by O, followed by C. Okay, that's all. Then you divide into before and after reaction. Under each substance, you write down the number of their element. For example, Fe2O3, there are 2 iron, 3 oxygen. Under CO, there's 1 C and there's 1 O. Under Fe, there's only 1 Fe. There's 1 C and 2 O. Now, as one of the rule of thumb for balance equation, you balance from the most complicated chemical formula. So in this case, I'll try to balance from Fe2O3. However, I try not to balance with the iron, because iron is a single element. I can multiply by any number in order to balance Fe2O3. So let's see what else can I balance from here. Okay. Let me see. Okay, let's try to balance the oxygen. On the right hand side, there are 2 oxygen. Okay, you see the carbon is balanced. Now, so I try not to touch this single one here because this is balanced. And if I change this number, I have to change this number. Okay, so I try not to change the number of carbon. I'll stay as 1 first. Oxygen, there are 2 on the right hand side, and there's only 1 here. So what I can do is I can multiply the number of oxygen under Fe2O3 by a fraction to make it 1. So it's times 1/3. So 1/3 times 3 give you 1. This whole thing become 1. 1 plus 1 give you 2 on the left hand side, which is balanced right hand side. So everything times 1/3. So it's balance, 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 balance. There you are, you balance carbon and oxygen. Iron is easiest because on the right hand side there's a 1. You can multiply any number to the 1 to get to be the same as the left hand side. So left hand side is 2 times 1/3 is 2/3. So I just put 2/3 times 1. And therefore my iron is balanced. Great. So it's 2/3. Now, you realize that there is a fraction. Both sides there's a denominator of 3. So you multiply the whole equation by 3. Then you get a whole number throughout. So 1/3 iron 3 oxide times 3, you get Fe2O3. The 1/3 is gone by multiplying by 3. You multiply by 3 throughout. Okay? Then you plus, because you multiply by 3, you got 3CO become 2/3 times 3 will give you 2 Fe plus 3CO2. If you check again, this is the balanced chemical equation. So I realize that I can multiply by any number, even a fraction, to balance first. So once you get a balanced equation, then you make it the whole number by multiplying by the denominator with 3. I get a balanced chemical equation. Okay, this is also quite a difficult equation to balance because sodium appears in 2 different substances here, and there's a nitrogen, there's oxygen, so quite a number of elements. Oops. So let's draw a table. Sodium and O. Sodium is everywhere. There's 1 sodium here, 1 sodium, 1 nitrogen, 3 oxygen, 2 sodium, 1 oxygen, and 2 nitrogen. Okay, so how should I start balancing this equation? Now, the most complicated formula, of course, is sodium nitrate. This is the complicated one. So I'll try to balance this fella here first. Now it looks like it's balanced throughout here. Okay, let's try to balance here from here. 3 this side times 3, because if I say that sodium, one sodium, 2 sodium, this side 2 sodium balance already, then I can't do anything to the number below. The 3 and 1 cannot balance anymore. So let's start balancing for 3 and 1 at the bottom. So I times 3 to balance it, times 3 to balance it. So I have a balanced oxygen, and this is 3. Now anything on the whole column under sodium nitrate and under Na2O, I cannot change anymore because I already multiply one. As long as one of the elements is balanced, the whole compound cannot change anymore. So I try to balance. This is a 1. I can't change this number. I cannot times 2. Times 2, everything will times 2 already. So I have times half on this side. Okay, so once I times half on this side, I get 1. 1 and 1 is balanced. There you are, balanced. So nitrogen is times half. Now 3 times 2, 6. Okay, 6. I have 1 here. I cannot change this one. I cannot change anymore. So I need to multiply something to the first one to become 6 on the left hand side. So it's 5 times 1 give you 5, and altogether this plus this give you 6. So it's balanced. Now this is a balanced equation, but there is a fraction. So what do? After balancing this equation with a fraction, you convert to a whole number by multiplying the denominator in the fraction. So times 2. So what you get is 10 Na plus 2 Na NO3 times 2 becomes 6 Na2O plus half times 2 is actually 1 single nitrogen. So you check on both sides, it should be balanced, especially the sodium. Let's check. 6 times 2 give you 12. On the left hand side, 10 sodium plus 2 sodium nitrate, the 2 sodium. So altogether is 12. So this is a balanced chemical equation. If you use trial error method, then you will take a long time because the number is quite big. You will go up to 10 in order to get balance. But using this table method, you can actually balance any complicated chemical equation.